Insert inferior product here.
Instead, I've got a better idea. Yesterday, on AtheismTV, I saw an ad for...
Insert your product name here.
And as you know...
Insert your company name here.
...have darn good products.
You have a product or service to sell? You want to popularize your website or YouTube channel? AtheismTV lets you reach thousands of people. Advertise with us today.
If you feel oral sex is a sin, well, then it is. According to a recent ruling made by televangelist Pat Robertson, oral sex is not necessarily a sin. But he also said that if a person believes it is sinful, there's no room for debate, the act is a sin. During a segment of his 700 Club show, his co-host reads viewer questions, and Robertson answers them in his typical candid manner. But last week, Christy Watts became extremely uncomfortable when he answered a question from a husband who was hoping that the preacher could settle what is probably a source of heated debate with his wife. Is oral sex in a marriage between a husband and wife a sin? At first, things looked pretty hopeful for the man, as Robertson said that the Bible doesn't make the act sinful. But any hope for the poor husband may have just come crashing down, as the preacher added that it depends on what's in a person's heart. If you believe it's a sin, it's a sin. Christy Watts looked quite uncomfortable during the entire segment, and Robertson had to remind her that she was a married woman with a baby, hinting to the fact that it could not have happened through immaculate conception. Do British citizens have the right to wear Christian symbols openly at work? Britain's Conservative government is about to face the European Court of Human Rights, where it will have to defend its stand against the right to wear a cross or crucifix openly at work. Critics complain that people of other faiths, such as Islam and Sikhism, are allowed to wear turbans and hijabs, and that the same rights should be granted to Christians. However, the government's position is that wearing the cross is not a religious requirement. The European Court of Human Rights will hear 4 different cases. One of them involves a former British Airways employee who was fired for refusing to take a cross off her uniform. Nadia Awida went through her country's entire court system, only to have her case rejected in the end by the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Rowan Williams, dismissed the importance of wearing Christian religious symbols, saying that it has become more or less the same as costume jewelry. Atheists are #1 with Kiva. Kiva is a non-profit organization whose mission it is to help fight poverty by making microloans to help create financial opportunities in impoverished countries. It is the world's leading microfinance institution. Back in 2005, for example, it made 727,430 loans, representing a total of $293 million. How helpful are such loans? Well, during that same year, 98.91% of the recipients were able to pay back the money lent. But Kiva's success also depends on the generosity of people like you and me, and this is where atheists come into the picture. The most important group of lenders is a team of skeptics called Atheists, Agnostics, Skeptics, Freethinkers. Its 20,142 members have lent nearly $7 million in 222,368 loans since August 2008. That's nearly twice as much as the nearest team, named Kiva Christians. The Freethinkers' slogan is, "We care about the suffering of human beings." To join this team, click on the link provided in the description box. British archbishops step up the fight against gay marriage. Although civil partnerships were introduced in Great Britain in 2005, gay couples cannot use the word marriage to describe their relationship. But by 2015, gay marriages should become an established fact. However, the Roman Catholic Church of England and Wales is quite displeased by this change, and 2 of its most preeminent archbishops have sent out a letter that is being read from the pulpits in 2,500 parishes. According to Cardinal Keith O'Brien, allowing gay marriages will shame the country in the eyes of the world. In one passage, Archbishops Vincent Nichols and Peter Smith wrote, "There are many reasons why people get married. For most couples, there is an instinctive understanding that the stability of a marriage provides the best context for the flourishing of their relationship and for bringing up their children. Society recognizes marriages as an important institution for these same reasons." A Saudi Arabian Islamic leader demands the destruction of all churches in the Arabian Peninsula. Sheikh Abdul Aziz al-Sheikh, the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia, is the highest authority when it comes to religious law in his Sunni country. However, he seems to be interested in extending his powers beyond the borders of Saudi Arabia. Reports came in last week that he had claimed that the destruction of all churches in the Arabian Peninsula was necessary. In other words, he said that religions other than Islam should not be tolerated. This declaration was made on Monday the 12th during a meeting with a Kuwaiti organization named the Society of the Revival of Islamic Heritage. In Saudi Arabia, all religions are forbidden except Islam. But even exceptions allowing for worship in private homes and some designated buildings seem to be sometimes forgotten in this Islamic country. For example, a group of Ethiopian Christians was recently arrested and imprisoned for holding a prayer meeting in a private apartment.